topic today is quantifiers. OMG, you've learned a lot about quantifiers. So come on, let's see them again. Well, the first thing you learned was about sum. You remember sum? When we talk about a specific quantity, we can use sum. For example, I have some money. I have some bananas. We can use sum for countable and uncountable nouns. And of course, you can use sum for questions when you a positive answer. So, well, what else? Well, now we have any. We always use any for negative auxiliaries like don't, didn't, or am not. And you can use any for uncountable nouns or plural countable nouns like I don't want any milk or I don't want any bananas. Yeah, and you use any questions when you don't know the answer like hey, do you have any brothers or sisters? And then we learned about no. Well, we use no to mean zero, and we always use no in positive or affirmative sentences. For example, there is no coffee. I have no bananas. So remember, you can use no for countable or uncountable nouns. And well, after that, you learned about large quantities. You remember, in this case, you need to use a lot of. Well, a lot of could be used for countable and uncountable nouns like, hey, there were a lot of people in my party, or there was a lot of cake. And after that, we learned about small quantities. And you learned this, a little. You remember, you need to use a little when you talk about uncountable nouns like, there was a little information, or I had a little pizza. Uncountable nouns. You know, a little cheese, a little sugar, a little salt, a little water, and so on. And you learned that we have another option. And for small quantities, but about countable nouns, we have a few. For example, Dad has a few friends, or there are a few carrots in a fridge. Yeah, we use a few for countable nouns, like a few computers, a few dogs, a few people, a few children, and so on. Well, then you learned about questions. Sometimes we want to know the quantity, so we have how much, how much money do you have, how much information did you get, how much homework does he have, how much. We always use how much plus an uncountable noun. Remember, how much money, how much homework, how much sugar, how much coffee, and so on. But if you want to ask about countable nouns, you need to use how many. How many? Like, how many people were there in the party? How many people were there in the party? Oh, there were a lot of people in the party. So, how many for countable nouns? How many computers? How many books? How many oranges? How many bananas? How many slices of cake? And so on. Remember, how many plus a countable noun. And of course, don't forget about not much. We use not much for negative sentences and when we are talking about a large quantity. For example, I don't drink much coffee or Jean didn't have much homework, always much plus an uncountable noun. And yeah, after that, you learned about not many. You remember not many? Again, this is for a large quantity in a negative sentence. But we use not many with countable nouns. Like, my sister doesn't have many friends. Or, no, Jean doesn't have many children, only one. Oh, yeah. So, you've learned a lot about quantifiers. Yeah, good for you. Well, now it's time to practice. Come on, let's go.